presidential palace at Buenos Aires, where people have continued to go to, pay their last respect to this legend in football. And we'll have other issues that are trending, and also the latest around Nigerian D Tigers, whom we just learned that just won their match in Kigali, Rwanda, in the Afro Basket 2021 qualifiers. That's a very cheery and good one. In the course of our discussion on this program, we'll be able to look at some of the issues around this, and not forgetting other important issue, talking about UEFA Champions League, Nigeria Women Professional Football League. And trust this program, Capital Sports, from the Unity Station, NT Channel 5 Abuja, will put all this together in the course to also be able to give you opportunity to call in and probably send in your message to be part of the discussion. And not forgetting also the National Sports Festival, which has been rising concerns about whether it will hold or not. Well, we'll be able to get some clarity in the course of our discussion. This is Capital Sports from the Unity Station, NT Channel 5 Abuja. I remain your host, Abdullahi Ajia. Do stay with us. We'll be back shortly. Well, welcome back, and thanks for rejoining us on Capital Sports. Like I did say earlier in the introduction, the D Tigers just won their match against South Sudan in the FIBA Afro Basket 2021 qualifiers. I think that's a very good one. They are in Group D alongside Rwanda, the host, Mali, and South Sudan, who replaced Algeria, who withdrew from participating in these qualifiers. And trust the Nigerian team, which is highly rated. We are already considered favorite to top the group, and they have just been able to stamp that authority, getting a score of 76-56. And I think South Sudan, whom were rated underdogs, but not forgetting also what their coach and the president of the Football Federation of South Sudan, giving them the confidence, a former player of Chicago Bulls and two-time NBA star player. So I think he gave them that confidence to be able to say, yes, they can be rated as underdogs, but they put in their best also. So they were able to get 56 points as against 76 that the D Tigers, got. And don't forget, the D Tigers will be playing Rwanda and Mali come Saturday and Sunday in other fixtures of that group. And we believe at the end of the day, they will come out to us, because the 2015 African champions, we know, will be doing us proud in faraway Kigali. Well, like we also say, this program is a participatory one. We will give you the opportunity to be part of it later in the course of the discussion. But before we open the lines, we'll continue to look at some of the issues that we have here. And like we say, tributes have continued to pour in, as far across the world in respect to one of the football finest who call Maradona. I remember growing up, everything was like, you see, Maradona. Not only in football, you hear a lot of people, talking about Maradona in football, Maradona in politics, and so on and so. Once you're smart, you're linked to Maradona. And this legend died yesterday at the age of 60. Not forgetting also that this one player that has paid his dues as far as the round leader game is concerned. We'll continue to say our heart goes to his family, his country, and also the football fraternity who are still mourning him. This player played Barcelona, Sevilla, and Napoli, where he made a great mark there, and not forgetting captain Argentina to the 1986 World Cup that they won. And well, at this juncture, we'll call for the sports tidbit. If Badi Adelia is ready, let us get started as usual with the tidbits to continue to. When we come back, we'll look at some of the issues that. Okay, Badi is not ready for us. Let us go to a tribute on Diego Armando Maradona to look at some of the feats this man has achieved as far as football is concerned. Let's go there.
Diego Armando Maradona Franco, considered one of the greatest players ever to step onto a football field, sadly took his last breath on Wednesday at the age of 60 after suffering a heart attack. He had successful surgery on a brain blood clot earlier in November and was to be treated for alcohol dependency. Maradona began his professional career with Argentinos Juniors at the age of 16, from there to Boca Juniors and Barcelona, and then moved to Napoli, winning 2 Serie A titles with the Italian side. The diminutive left-footed forward also played for Sevilla and Newell's Old Boys. It was with the national team, though, that his name was immortalized. Maradona was instrumental in taking Argentina to their second World Cup triumph in 1986, captaining the team that prevailed over West Germany in the final, having knocked England out of the tournament in a match which saw him score the infamous Hand of God goal and another widely considered to be one of the greatest goals of all time. He also led the country to the final of the 1990 tournament in Italy, although his international playing career ended in shame when he failed a drugs test at the 1994 World Cup, having been banned from football in 1991 after testing positive for cocaine while playing for Napoli, and he was notorious for a wayward lifestyle. He retired from professional football in 1997 on his 37th birthday during his second stint at Argentine giants Boca Juniors.
A powder keg of skills and entertainment. He was born to play football. As a matter of fact, Maradona was synonymous to football and football synonymous to Maradona.
Having briefly managed 2 sides in Argentina during his playing career, Maradona was appointed head coach of the national team in 2008 and left after the 2010 World Cup. He subsequently managed teams in the United Arab Emirates and Mexico and was in charge of Gimnasia in Argentina's top flight at the time of his death. Tributes have been pouring in from the global sports fraternity since the news of his demise broke, with his former teams and colleagues leading the tributes.
Across the world right now, people are mourning, people who never met him, people who don't even know him. What it means is that if you leave a mark in the hearts of people, then people will mourn you.
Maradona is survived by his longtime partner, Veronica Ojeda, 2 daughters, 2 sons, and his former wife, Claudia Villafane.
Thank you very much, Badi Adele, for that wonderful tribute on Diego Maradona, whom we have said a lot about, and Nigerians also joining the global community to also pay their last respect to one man that meant a lot as far as the game of football is concerned. In his playing days, we saw the skills, we saw determination, we saw that doggedness to carry. We also saw the captaincy, what it means to be a captain of a team, shouldering responsibility and also leading by example, playing in the pitch and, also of the pitch. But, there are other issues that we will not want to discuss it here around Maradona. Well, apart from that, Maradona, we believe, was like a god in Argentina, and we believe the Argentines are seriously mourning and also paying their last respect. That's why the government of Argentina, opened a wake, in the presidential palace there to also honor Maradona for what he has been able to do for his country. Well, that we will say may his soul rest in peace. While we also look at other issues in the course of our discussion on this program. Don't forget, later I will be joined by my guest, but for now we will be opening the lines to be able to get your contributions and also be parts of our discussion. Don't forget, you can join us via our social media handle and also utilize our WhatsApp platform to be able to send in your message, and the phone line also will be open for you to be able to call in and be part of what we are saying today. Well, now let's quickly, from what we've been getting, the National Sports Festival has been one issue that has generated a lot of uncertainty, a lot of concern about whether it will hold or it will not hold. We remember initially it was supposed to, be held in March, but the coronavirus issue forced postponements for it, to be rescheduled. But the new date was fixed, and the latest we're hearing around is that it won't hold. But I know the sports ministry and stakeholders have come out to say, no, we have not postponed that the sports festival again for now. So we're waiting to get an official statement so that we'll be able to clear the air to know whether our athletes that have resumed their respective training camps, whether it will definitely hold this year or not. But at this juncture, let us quickly go to get the sports tidbit. I know you will be waiting for it. Bade Adele, if you're ready with the sports tidbit, please serve us so that when we come back, we will top it from there.
Hello there and welcome again. Now let's go on a quick ride round the world of sports in 240 seconds. Nigeria's D Tigers dunked off their 2021 FIBA Afrobasket qualifiers with a 76-56 win over South Sudan on Thursday. Nigeria took the first quarter 22-17, led after halftime with a 46-29 scoreline, and was pegged back in the third quarter as South Sudan took a 20-15 lead. Nigeria, however, ended the game with a 76-56 points win, with 5 players having double-digit points. The next play host Rwanda and then Mali. The Nigeria Women's Football League Wednesday disqualified 5 Premiership clubs for failing to meet the deadline for players' licensing and registration for the 2020-2021 season. The 5 erring clubs, Sunshine Queens of Akure, Dream Stars of Lagos, Ibom Angels of Uyo, Adamawa Queens of Yola, and Heartland Queens of Owerri, will now play in the second-tier league. The NWFL Premiership has been scheduled to start on December 9, 2020, with the eventual champions qualifying for the inaugural edition of the CAF Women's Champions League in 2021. Embattled CAF President Ahmad Ahmad is set to appeal his 5-year ban from all football-related activities by FIFA. The 60-year-old Malagasy, who was found guilty of violation of FIFA's Code of Ethics by accepting gifts and benefits, is taking his appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sports. Ahmad, who has been automatically disqualified from rerunning for another term of presidency, has also been temporarily replaced by his vice president, Constant Omari. Nigeria's Zaidu Sanusi was on target as FC Porto beat Marseille 2-0 in the UEFA Champions League on Wednesday night, just as Bayern Munich guaranteed they will finish top of Group A as they overcame Red Bull Salzburg 3-1, while Atletico Madrid drew a blank against Lokomotiv Moscow. Atalanta rebounded from their 5-0 thumping by Liverpool to hand the Reds a shocking 2-0 loss, while Ajax beat FC Midtjylland 3-1. In other results, Manchester City secured their place in the last 16 yet again with a 1-0 victory over Olympiacos in Greece, while Real Madrid recorded a 2-0 victory at Inter Milan. Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo and Robert Lewandowski are among 11 players nominated for the 2020 Men's Best FIFA Football Awards. For the Best Men's Coach of the Year, Bayern's Hans Flick, Leeds United's Marcelo Bielsa, Jurgen Klopp of Liverpool, Sevilla's Julen Lopetegui and Real Madrid's Zinedine Zidane have been shortlisted. Other categories of the awards, which will hold on December 17, 2020, are Best Women's Player, Best Men's Goalkeeper, Best Women's Goalkeeper, Best Women's Coach and Puskás Award. Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. have been told they are not allowed to knock out each other when they face off on Saturday in an exhibition bout. 54-year-old Tyson and his opponent, Jones Jr., who is 51, have been handed a different set of rules, which will see no ringside judges and winner announced for the bout. As that will be all on Sports Tidbits for this week. Do enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you very much, Badi Adeleye, for giving us that aspect of the tidbits. Well, and I am privileged again and honored, I will say, for having Badi with me here in the studio to discuss some of these issues that I will say he has raised as far as the latest are concerned. Badi Adeleye, before you came in, we've talked about Maradona. We talked about the Tigers, doing us proud in their opening game against South Sudan. Now, I don't want us to expend much energy because there's nothing that you have left out as far as the tribute on Maradona is concerned. Now, let us quickly look at the issue of Nigerian Women Professional Football League. We saw the preseason, and the Bayelsa champions, won the curtain raiser. So, and now we are hearing that 5 teams have been relegated. What is all this?
When people talk about that, some might smile, some might really laugh, so hard, thinking about that. We've been complaining about, having not too many teams in the league. Out of 16, you've disqualified 5 and you've relegated them to the second tier. Now having 11, which means the 11 teams cannot play every match day. You have to get, one team that will be idle. So it won't really go that well. It won't be smooth. They might be trying to lay down a marker, telling teams that you cannot, do this and do that. But they've been saying they failed to register, they failed to do this, they failed to do that. But FIFA has released about $500 million, $500,000, for the women's football in Nigeria. Why can't they give them palliatives or help them, in the initial stage, and they can pay later? Because what they're talking about has to do with money. So it's about money. Since there's money to spend, while you're disqualifying teams, that's not what we need. We're coming from a pandemic.
But don't you think, for the beauty of the game, like you said, 11 teams, how do they compete? Because we know the fixtures is usually between 2 teams.
Yeah.
So, like you said, one team will definitely be idle when others are playing.
Yeah.
So I think the authorities should be able to come out to tell us better plans of probably if they're going to reconsider these people to have them back and probably have an alternative punishment for not doing the right thing. But we'll be hoping to see how it plays out and probably get something better out of it. Now, quickly, but during the week we saw, were you surprised when the CAF president was slammed a 5 years ban and preventing him from all football-related activities?
I always saw it coming. I've always seen it. I felt he has not really managed CAF very well. There has been interference, and he actually caused it because the way he's been managing things. We saw the time that their former secretary came out, and there was this investigation in France and all that about corruption in CAF. This man has not come out clean. And so when there's something fishy about, the way you've been handling the affairs of a confederation like CAF, that's what you get. Whether you like it or not, we know that there's a lot of politicking when it comes to presidency or any post in CAF, FIFA, or NFF. So you might say it's a setup, but if you're clean, you cannot be set up.
Football politics, I must call it bad, whether we like it or not. But now we learned that he is going to Court of Arbitration for Sports.
Really, I've not seen someone that, clearly gets the ban overturned. But that's why they've made it 5. Maybe by the time it's coming back from the Court of Arbitration for Sports, we're going to, they're going to hand in like a 2-year ban or a year ban. But one thing I can tell you is that if they will make sure that that ban, even by the time CAF is going to listen to his appeal, things will be done already. Things will have gone so far as regards CAF presidency, the electioneering process and all that. They would have forgotten about it, and that's one thing when it comes to this politics of the thing in FIFA.
But don't you think his problem started when he late last month when he declared he's going to recontest for the CAF presidency?
That's what I've been trying to say, because when you know that you're not clean, so everyone has been waiting.
Allegedly not clean.
Okay, but for now, FIFA and even some members of CAF, they've pointed accusing fingers at this man, and so already it's been withdrawn from the presidential race. We now have some other people. I don't know if Amaju Pinnick could reconsider on that and all that. What I can tell you is that if he had just allowed his tenure to end just like that without recontesting, he will come with a clean slate. You understand? But now I can tell you it's because even FIFA, they don't want this man to be back by 2021.
How sure are we, buddy? Okay, let's quickly leave the issue of CAF president. Now, quickly, let's just look at the UEFA Champions League. We saw teams yesterday. Some played Tuesday. I know you're happy. Manchester United won their match on Tuesday.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yesterday we saw some other teams also played. Real Madrid, I think they're beginning to rediscover the lines now. We saw how they started poorly. At the time they were at the bottom, parts of their group. And yesterday they went to Italy, defeated Inter Milan. Liverpool lost, and Bayern Munich anyway won their own match at home. So what are we likely to see at the end of the group?
Just like what we predicted initially, we expected Barcelona to qualify, and of course Juve. We've seen the two of them qualify from their group. The same thing for Bayern Munich and for so many other teams like that. And that has been what has been happening. But it's interesting to see the match between Inter Milan and Real Madrid. Real Madrid, knowing that they've been very inconsistent. So yesterday's match was just a pairing, between two inconsistent teams. Inter Milan never.
Let me cut the shop. I'll be able to see if we'll be able to get this call. Oh, we missed him. All right, sorry, you can go on.
All right, Inter Milan not consistent, Real Madrid not consistent. I wasn't too convinced. They were lucky. We saw the red card to Arturo Vidal, who was, who lashed out at the referee. And of course, talking about Liverpool, many people have been calling Atlanta a small team.
Hello, let's have this call on the line. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Quickly, please, your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Alamin. I'm calling from Abuja.
Okay, please, your contribution. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to you are on to Capital Sports. What do you have to tell us?
Yes, I just want to make my contribution about Super Eagles.
Okay.
Yes. Ghana throw, he can't make it. Super Eagles is too big for him.
Okay.
And I think one of our ex-players, for example, maybe Amokachi, JJ Okocha, Joseph Yobo, one of them, if he is well-trained, they can take Super Eagles to another level. But so far, Super Eagles, they are doing nothing. They play like almost 4 matches. They did not win even one. Algeria beat Nigeria 1-0, Tunisia 1-1, and even Sierra Leone 4-4. And after all, Nigeria went to Sierra Leone and
all right.
0-0.
All right. Thank you very much for expressing your opinion on what you feel about the Super Eagles, and we hope that the authorities will be listening and also do the needful. And don't forget also the Minister of Youth and Sports Development also during the week also try to draw the attention of the employers of Ghana to say we need something better. And thank you very much for joining us. Okay. All right.
So Atlanta not a small team. They really needed to beat Liverpool yesterday.
Okay. So now, Badi Adeleye, please, before we quickly, call it a wrap on this program, Mike Tyson Jones Jr. Mike Tyson seemed not to give up. He wants to fight by all means at 54.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful to see that these two guys want to really fight, but I think what the boxing council has been doing to them not really fair, according to them. They've reduced the fight from 3 minutes to 2 minutes per round. There will be no, judge, no sideline judge, there. Of course, they are not permitted to knock each other out. Maybe they are thinking we're coming from a pandemic. Somebody should not faint. Somebody should not die. They are just being too careful. But at 54. They are former boxers. Let them do it.
Okay, well, we wish them very well as they go out to test, or wear the gloves again once more. This is the much time will permit us to have relayed to you today on Capital Sports. Don't forget, next week, same time, same station. By God's grace, we'll be here to give you some of also the latest that will be coming out. Probably then we would have gotten the result of how our D Tigers have fared as far as the FIBA Afro basket qualifiers, is concerned, and also developing stories. Probably by then we would have heard about the Edo 2020, whether it will hold or not. Bade Adele, I must thank you once more for coming on Capital Sports. Thank you very much for joining us. I remain Abdullahi Ajia, and I must at this time thank all those that have contributed to making this program a success. Not forgetting Inalegu, behind the scene, punching the buttons. Thank you. Next week is same time. Let's do it again. Bye for now.